Hi, my name is V. I'm currently a student at the University of Greenwich. Here's my presentation for the International Entrepreneurship Project, where we will present our own startup ideas. The purpose of this presentation is that I will introduce the effective job application and recruitment project with my company called Simply, short for Simplify. The structure of my presentation will include 6 stages as follows. And after all, I will conclude my presentation with the knowledge gaps and what I have learned while doing this project. First up is the idea description. I will briefly introduce my startup idea before we get started. The objective of my project is to speed up the job application process in Vietnam. I want this process to be effective, saving both recruiters and candidates time while also minimizing the issues of supply and demand imbalance in the recruiting industry. Specifically, at the beginning stage, the company will attract candidates and employers. Then, we will collect data through the registration of each user, thereby determining the needs and abilities that they meet for together. After we have obtained information, the needs, the capabilities of them, we will proceed to match both sides. An employer needs to recruit employees with what qualities, or a candidate wants to find a job that can meet their needs and ability. This process will be shortened and legalized by us in the shortest possible time. About the origins of idea, I was born and raised in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. During my time as a student, when I applied for many jobs in many places, I observed that the recruitment process is diverse and has many professions, but they lack the connection between candidates and recruiter. Specifically, on the candidate side, they are not allowed to choose the right profession that matches their ability, but instead they have to try and change through many different jobs until they find a worthy job. This takes time and a lot of effort for both parties because candidates have to spend time for 1 to 2 months of probation, and employers have to spend a lot of effort to train new employees to assess whether they are qualified for a job or not. Apart from my observation, according to a report from Industry and Trade magazine in Vietnam, the situation of production and business activity of enterprises has many difficulties. The demand for labor recruitment has been narrow. In contrast, the establishment of more training institutions, such as colleges and universities, had led to an increasing number of students being trained in the same majors, with supply exceeding demand. In fact, the number of candidates who apply for recruitments every year to find a job is quite large, but the result is that the number of people who meet the right requirements of the employers is still very limited. Therefore, I launched this startup project to connect students with employers, making the application and recruitment process shorter and meeting the needs of both parties. Although there are a lot of famous job sites in Vietnam, I compete with them by handling the recruitment process quickly, supporting both recruiters and candidates right from the start, so they don't have to waste time choosing between countless jobs or countless candidates. At the same time, my project will also have balanced the supply and demand in the recruitment process. Value proposition. To attract customer, there are the value propositions that I will commit to deliver to them. First one is focus on solving problems. We will solve the problem of time and cost for both parties. And the second one is exclusiveness. Compared to recruitment websites like Vietnam Works, JobsGo, or Freelance, where candidates have to search for countless different jobs and wait a long time to apply, our service will match that candidates directly with employers who are looking for an employee with exactly the same abilities and qualities as these candidates. So my biggest mission is to give meaning to the community. I aim to make the hiring process more equitable so that candidates and recruiters can collaborate efficiently and quickly. so that anyone can find a suitable job, and employers also have the right employees for the training. After all, Vietnam, my country, can build a valuable human resource. And the second one is that I want my brand to dominate the Vietnamese employment markets. People will recall my well-known brand during the hiring or finding job process. And finally, I want to expand my brand and reach as many users as possible. The third part is the market research. So, according to a report by Vietnam Works, up to 80% of workers surveyed said that they have a need to change jobs and look for a new job in the past 6 months of 2022. On the business side, nearly 87% of enterprise said that they had difficulties in recruiting. And I observed that the most used channels for recruitment in Vietnam are online job search sites, accounting for 28%, followed by social networks and corporate recruitment pages. This shows that simply my company can take the trend through this need. However, the reality in Vietnam shows that recruitment demand is not evenly distributed across industry. The professions of business, marketing, and IT are important and popular than the rest. The solution my project came up with can solve this problem, because right from the start, right from the registration, we encourage users to clearly describe their needs, their wants, their experience and capabilities, and we use this information to match between business and candidates in the most appropriate way to avoid problems may occur in the future. At the same time, my company will always update the recruitment needs and equally divide candidates for different positions. For example, in case there are too many candidates applying for the same profession, I will give the second and the third relevant options to avoid the imbalance between supply and demand in recruitment. The next one I want to show you is the customer research. Subjects of the survey will include students and candidates who are looking for work and companies that are in need of recruitment. When asked about the need to find a job, up to 80% of respondents are looking for a job, in which more than 66% of users use recruitment websites to find jobs and recruit. The rest of respondents use company websites and social networks. Proving recruitment websites is a very popular form because it includes countless jobs and many different options for both recruiters and candidates. Regarding their level of satisfaction when using recruitment websites, more than 60% of respondents rates the website as average, and approximately 21% of people are satisfied and 15% are not satisfied while using these recruitment websites. It shows that this form does not bring the best experience to users, nor does it meet their needs, when up to 66% of people answer that their jobs or candidates are not suitable for them. About the competitors' research, this is a list of the top famous job search sites in Vietnam. However, they have some weaknesses, such as candidates have to take a very long time to discover the ideal job. They have to pay a fee when they want to post a recruitment or a personal profile, and their list limits communication between recruiters and candidates. About business model, this is the model that I created to support this project, and the model consists of 3 main branches. The first one is the value propositions, which is what I can offer to my customer. The second one is the customer interface, and the infrastructures that I use to build the project, and finally, the cost calculation for the project. All of these parts I will cover in detail in the next section. Marketing approach. As mentioned before, the target customers of this project include all candidates who are looking for a suitable job and all companies are in need of recruitment. The advertising message will be create the most straightforward and efficient hiring product. And there are two forms that I will use for my marketing campaign, which are online and offline, and also 3 phases I'm gonna perform in my marketing campaign. About the online forms, they include using social media, SMS marketing, digital platforms. The offline forms consist of using banners, organizing events at universities or companies to attract customers. First of all, we will raise an important question. Why are you still struggling to find a job or recruit? And along with the answer, we are here to simplify that process for you. This message will be conveyed through social media, TikTok, article, and so on to raise customer awareness. Phase 1 is the awareness. I will organize events at universities and companies to let them discuss about the question. At the same time, I will connect with influencers to share their opinions and PR article to discuss about these issues. At the same time, popularize my brand and raise customer awareness. Once I have the information of a certain group of customers, I will use SMS marketing, which is email marketing and SMS texts, to provide the information to each individual, including the company's website and the contact information, so that customer can contact me directly in the easiest way. Phase 2 is the engagement phase. So simply will be free to use for 1 to 3 months for new user to promote the number of people to register and use Simply. And my goal is to get as many users as possible to make Simply popular. Phase 3 is the amplification. Once I have a user base and Simply becomes popular, during this period, I will continuously promote and match candidates with suitable companies, allow them to meet each other as quickly as possible without having to wait for the time to receive and send the CV, because the information of both parties has been entered enough since they registered to use Simply. Besides, we will encourage users to rate and share Simply to more people, and I will let this phase roll over automatically. After a number of users interact with each other, I will encourage them to share and rate Simply to get more bonus points. And this point is for promotion, to have the user's profile become more famous, more popular, and increase impressions, help them to reach more people. The next one is the financial plan. First, I will need expense to manage the company, include the cost of hiring staff, training employees, management, and also the expense for website construction or fan page management. After building my staff, I started paying fees for organizing events and campaigns at universities to attract students and candidates. Next, there will be investment costs for marketing, include running ads on social networks platform, TikTok, etc., and the cost to hire KOLs, influencer, and PR article. Finally, there are costs for operating the company, including maintenance, management, and customer services. In addition, management costs for unnecessary risk will also added. This cost I account for about 10%. And after 3 months of operation, simply we start collecting fees, including commissions from companies when they have recruited people, and the premium subscription fees to have candidates' profiles stand out and have a chance to access to more employers. The commission that the company will pay depends on the qualification that the candidates can bring to that company. For example, when hiring an inexperienced candidate, we will charge a commission fees of about 1 million Vietnam dong. For a person with sufficient experience and the ability to properly meet the company needs, the commission fee will fall from about 2.5 million Vietnam dong to 4 million Vietnam dong. As for candidates, they will be able to use simply for free, but compared to the premium package, which is 350,000 Vietnam dong per month, their profile will be optimized to be displayed to employers, while the basic package will be displayed under the profile that had already been submitted to the premium. And when signing up for this package, simply will continuously suggest jobs that match that candidate's ability. So in short, for the basic package, user will have to be more active in the job search process. And in case when the user has found a suitable job and has no intention to find a new job, they can suspend the premium package and resume it again anytime they want, with the profile, the bonus points, and impressions still be the same as when they postponed. And here is the cash flow table that I estimated when running this project. So, about the knowledge gap and my opinions while doing this project. Regarding my knowledge gaps in this project, I have having too many students trained in the same profession is still a challenge for me to research, which requires the student themselves have to have a new perspective on employment right after graduation to avoid problems when applying for jobs. And this is a problem that I cannot ask of students. I can only try to be as balanced as possible by dividing the number of applicants equally among different positions. In terms of my thoughts, when doing this project, I would like to contribute to Vietnam an effective and balanced recruitment environments. And my wish is that Vietnam has a few unemployment people as possible, so that my country's economy can develop at its optimal level. And that's also the end of my presentation. I hope that I did everything well in this project. Thank you so much for your attention and your listening.